Hi, fourth grade. Gonna do an example of box division, long division, and partial quotient division with you. So I'm gonna start with the problem 400. Oops, let me adjust my camera for a second. 473 divided by 5. And I'm gonna start with box division. To start with box division, I want to take a rectangular box. Doesn't really matter the size. And I want to see, I've got my dividend here. My dividend has 3 numbers in it, so I'm going to split my box up into 3 different portions. Now, I'm going to take each of my numbers in my dividend, and I'm going to put them in the top right-hand corner. So I'm going to write 473. Now I'm going to take my divisor, which is 5. And I am going to put it outside of the box as if it's knocking on the door, trying to get into 473. Now, I'm thinking to myself, can 5 fit into 4? No, 5 is greater than 4, so it can't fit into 4. I also know that because when I skip count by 5s, I don't land on 4 or land underneath 4. So 5, 10, I don't hit 4. So 5 does not fit into 4. I'm going to regroup this 400s into 40 10s. So now in my tens place column, I've got 47 tens. I'm thinking to myself, does 5 fit into 47? I think 5 can fit into 47, so I'm going to skip count by 5s, and I want to get as close to, but under 47, or I want to get exactly 47. Let's skip count by 5s and get close. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. 5 times 9 is 45. This is our dividing step. That's the first step in box division. We're going to take 5, and we're fitting it into 47. We're really taking 47 divided by 5, and we get 9. Now we're on step 2, which is to multiply. We want to take 5, and I like to write a multiplication symbol there. 5 times 9 is 45. I write my answer to my multiplication problem right below that number there. Then I'm going to subtract, that's step 3, and I'm going to say I'm taking 45 away from 47, and I get 2. Now this is 2 tens that we didn't use. We're going to regroup them into 20 ones. Now total ones we have is 23 ones. We're thinking, how many times can 5? We're back. We regrouped, and now we're repeating. We're at the division step, number 1. We're going to think, how many times does 5 fit into 23? 5, 10, 15, 20. 5 times 4 is 20. The 4 comes up for our division step. We do our multiplication step. 5 times 4 is 20. We do our third step, which is to subtract. And then, because we're at the end of our problem, we've gone through the hundreds, tens, and ones place, we're at the end of our problem. 5 doesn't fit into 3, so this is our remainder. I always like to box our remainder. The answer to our problem of 473 divided by 5 is going to be 94, remainder 3. Again, the steps for box division are divide, multiply, subtract, regroup, and repeat. Okay? We're going to use the same problem for partial quotient division. Now, for partial quotient division, you're going to draw that house, and you're going to write the dividend underneath. I like to spread out my numbers so that I can keep everything nice and neat. I'm going to put my 5, again, my divisor, knocking at the door, trying to get in. I'm thinking, how many times does 5 fit into 4? 5 does not fit into 4. So I'm going to think, how many times does 5 fit into 47? Or 470. In partial quotient, we really think about the whole number. So you might hear me say 470 as this part of the larger number, 473. So I know that 5 doesn't fit into 4. So really, 5 fits into 4 0 times. But we don't really want to write a 0 because a 0 never comes in the front of another number. Okay, so we're thinking, we know 5 doesn't fit into 4. We know 5 fits into 47. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. 5 times 9, so this is our divide step. 5 fits into 47, 9 times. So now we're at our multiplication step. 5 times 9 is 45. Because this is partial quotient division, we like to stick a 0 on the end because we're going to take this part of the problem, which was 5 times 90, this is 9 is in the tens place, equals 450. We're going to stick that 0 on the end so that we can take this number, this part, partial quotient, part of the problem away from our larger problem. If I take 3 and I take 0 away from it, I still get 3. I'm taking 5 away from 7, I'm going to get 2. So 4 away from 4 is 0, but we don't need to write that 0 there. Now we're trying to figure out how many times does 5 fit into 2? 5 doesn't fit into 2, so we're going to have to think how many times does 5 fit into 23, focusing on the larger amount. 5 fits into 23, 5, 10, 15, 20. 25 would be over. We never want to go over. So 5 fits into 23 4 times. 5 times 4 is 20. That was our multiplication step. Our third step is going to be subtract. Now, when we subtract, we are taking that away, and we get 3. We always double check to see, does 5 fit into 3? Nope, 5 is larger than 3, so it does not fit in. We're going to box this remainder, and we know that that will come up here. Okay, that's the partial quotient way. Again, same steps. Divide, multiply, subtract, and then you repeat. Okay, for our last one, this is going to be long division. Now, for long division, it's really similar to partial quotient division. We're going to build the house again, spreading out our numbers in our dividend a little bit and having 5 knock at the door. We are thinking, how many times does 5 fit into 4? Oh, there we go again. 5 does not fit into 4. We're going to think, how many times does 5 fit into 47? 5 fits into 47 9 times, because 5 times 9, our second step to multiply, is 45. Our third step is going to be to subtract. If I take this away, I'm going to get 2. The next step is going to be to bring down, and we signal that with an arrow. We're bringing this 3 down to get us 23 here. Now we're thinking, how many times does 5 fit into 23? 5 fits into 23 4 times, 5, 10, 15, 20. And so our multiplication step goes below, we subtract, and if we take this away, we're left with 3. 5 does not fit into 3, so we know that this is our remainder. These are all the steps for long division. We divide, which is how we get this number here. We multiply, how we get this number here. We subtract, and then we bring down, and we repeat the steps. Dividing again, multiplying, subtracting, and then finishing it out. All right, 4th grade, I hope that this was helpful for you. I'm loving that division is starting to click for many of the friends in this class. And just remember that you got this.